Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. And this evening we're going to begin the recitation of chapter 6 of the Devi Gita. So everybody please join us in reciting the text. Sri Devi Uvacha Kwayuyam Bhagyave Kvedang Rupam Ahadbhutam Tatapi Bhakta Vatsalyad Didrisham Darshitam Maya Napedat Yadnir Yogir Nadanir Tapastechaya Rupam Trastumitam Bhatyam Kevalam Makripam Vina Prakritam Srinu Rajendra Paramatmatra Jivatam Upadhi Yogat Samprapta Kartritva Bhyakam Abhyapyuta Kriya Karoti Jivita Dharma Dharma Kiriketava Nana Yonistata Prapya Sukadukesha Yujade Punastat Sankrita Vanashan Nana Karama Rata Sada Nana Dehan Samaptoti Sukadukesha Yujade Kati Yantra Vati Dasya Nabhirama Kadapi Agyaname Babulang Syat Tata Kama Kriyastata Tasmad Jnana Nashaya Yateta Niyatandaram Itadi Chanvapsa Kalam Yada Jnanasya Nasanam Purushartas Maptischa Jivamukta Datsapicha Jnana Nasane Sakta Videva Chabhatu Kapriyasi Nakamhasad Tachanam Sotas Viroda Bababti Gire Pratyuta Shadna Jnanashe Kamana Naiva Pabhyatam Anartha Dani Karmani Puna Ru Santigi Tato Ragas Tato Droshas Tato Narso Makababe Tasmat Sarva Pragatena Jnanam Sampadagi Nara Kurvani Beha Karmanit Yata Karmakya Vashyakam Jnanade Bhakti Kaivalyam Atahasyat Tatsamuchayam Sahayatam Prachet Karma Jnasta Gita Karicha Itike Chittatan Tyatra Tadiro Dana Sambhavet Jnanadri Granti Vedasyad Rigranto Ekam Sambhava Yogapadyam Sapadyam Hirodat Tu Satastayo Tama Prakashayo Vadyad Yogapadyam Sambhave Tasmat Sarvani Kamani Voidikani Makapate Chitta Shudyat Nivasyad Tani Karyat Pragatnata Shamontamasti Dikshacha Vairagyan Sattva Sambhava Tavat Pragyantve Vasyu Karmani Natata Param Tadate Jaiva Sanyasya Sansrayet Guru Bhadbhavan Shotradriyam Brahmanishtam Cha Bhaktya Dirya Chakapuna Vedanta Sravadant Kurgan Nityameva Tatandrita Tattvamasyadi Bhakyasya Nityamartan Satya Vicharaket Tattvamasyadi Bhakyantu Jiva Brahmayeka Bodhakam Yajya Akyate Bhavasyo Madrupo Agi Prajayate Pradartha Bhagati Purvam Pragyartha Bhagati Statam Tapadasya Chapakyarto Gireyam Parikirtitam Tam Padasya Chapakyarto Jiva Evan Sansaga
Ubaihurbhikya mastina Padena prochate buddhay Pachartakyo virutatir Ekam bhagate tahya Lakshanata prakartavya Tatmo sruti sangstayo Chinmatra gatu tato lakshyam Toyore kasya sambhava Toyore kam tatatyatva Swabhide andadriko pabed Devatata sakevayam Iti balakshana smrita Stula de harakito Brahma sampajate nara Panchikrita mahabhuta Sambuddha stula dehaka Bogaloyo jarabhyati Sanyutta sarvakamadam Kimam mityat bhutam apita bhati Sutamaya majastvata Soyam stula upadisyad Atmano me nageshvara Jnana kamendriya yuktam Pranapanchakra sanyutam Manobuddhir yutam chaitat Suksmantat kavaito vidum Apanchikrita bhogyantam Suksmadeo yambatvanam Dvitiyo yamupadhisyat Sukadera vibodhaka Anadyanir vachamidim Adyanam dritiyaka Teo yambatmanopati Karanatman nageshvara Upadhi vilaye jate Kevalatma bhivshishate Deyatrahe panchakosham Antasta santi sarvada Panchakosha pritage Brahmapucham hi lapyate Neti neti tityati vakyir Mama rupam yaduchyate Najayate mriyate tatkadachin Nayam bhutva na bhuvakachit Ajonitya sasvatoyam purano Nahanyate hanmane sirire Hatanchit mandyate yuntu Hatansim mandyate kutam Ubato nam vijanato Nayangati nahanyate Ano ravisan mahato makiyat Atmasya chaturnigito guhayam Tamakratu pashati vita shokao Datu prasadan makimanas masya Atmanan ratinang vide Shriram ratme vatsu Buddhitu saratin vide Manaha pragrahame vacha Indriyani hajanyakur Visyanste shugocharan Atmindye yandri yogyukto Bhokte dhatu manishina Yasva vidvam bhavati cha Manaskascha sadachute Natarpadam bhavnoti Sansaram nadikachate Yastu vijnanapan bhavati Samansnashka sadasute Satu tat padamabdoti Yasmad buddhyo nachayate Vijnana saratir yustu Manaha pragrahama vandara Sodvana paramabdoti Madhyam yaparam padam Nitam srutyam ajam adhyacha Nityadutmadapat banama Bhavajit matman matma rupam Nididatyako pritopiksa Yoga prito paraswasmi Bhavede yadacharacharayam Devi pranava sangyasya Dhanartam bhatra bhachaya Hakaras kuladehasya Rakara suksmadehaka Ikara karanatmaso Rinkaro ham turiyakam Evam samasti dekepi Yatva bijatrayam pramat Samasti vyatyo rekam tvam Bhavavye patimanara Samadhi kalat purvam tu Bhavisyati madristadha Tato jayeni lilok anaksho Devim mam chandeswarim pranapano samo kritva navsavyantaratarino nibrita vishakang kangsho viti rosho vivatsara bhakyan hivyajakya yukto guhayam nisvanestale hakaram vishvamatmanam rakare pravilapake rakarante chasam devam ikare pravilapake ikaram pragyamatmanam rinkare pravilapake vachya vachya kataginam doita bhava viparjitam akandam satchidanandam bhavayeta chikantare iti dhyamena parajam saksakritya nirottamam arupageva bhavati dvayurapi kathakata yoga yukta naikadrishta mamatmanam paratparam agyanasya sakayasya takshane andasiko bhavet Om.
Let's return to the beginning of chapter 6. There's a lot of wonderful discussions within this chapter. And the goddess said to the gods, who is so fortunate as to see this greatly wonderful cosmic form? I just showed you myself. Who is so fortunate amongst all the beings of existence to see, to be able to see, to really perceive the infinite beyond conception? This capacity to have perceived me is only attained through sincere devotion. Not the study of the Vedas, nor the practice of yoga, nor the giving of gifts, nor purifying austerities can make my inconceivable form perceivable. Only through my grace can this form be seen. But in order to earn that grace, we want to study the Vedas, practice yoga, give gifts, and do purifying austerities, and then we earn the grace. Those acts alone are not sufficient, but they sure help. O Lord of Kings, listen. The Supreme Soul becomes an individual soul because of his nature. By union with attributes, these upabhis, he thinks himself to be an actor, an enjoyer, etc. So here's this infinite Supreme Soul, and his nature compels him to manifest. And then when they manifest, then there's duality, and this is one, and this is the second. And then I must be different from you. And that's the nature of the nature. He can't help himself. Or she can't help herself. He performs various actions of dharma, manifesting the ideal, and all dharma in derogation of the ideal, and attains birth in various wombs, experiencing pleasure or pain accordingly. So this individual soul, once it's manifest, he does dharma and he does all dharma, and he gets the fruits of his karma. He enjoys the fruits of his karma, whether he likes it or not. Again, because of all actions performed during these births, he collects numerous tendencies, sanskaras, which cause him to wear various bodies without end, and always he experiences pleasures and pains. This cycle of births and deaths continues with the regularity of time, literally with the regularity of a water wheel. It just keeps going. Without cessation. Ignorance is the root of this, from which arises desire, and action must follow. Thus, humanity should eternally attempt to destroy ignorance. Life has succeeded in attainment of perfection when ignorance has been destroyed. So a life can attain perfection by the destruction of ignorance. The highest goal is attained by an individual soul when he becomes liberated during his manifested existence. And knowledge is the only thing that has the capability to destroy ignorance. Do you know of anything else that can destroy ignorance? Only knowledge. O mountain, the actions performed in the presence of ignorance can only again create ignorance. Such actions cannot destroy ignorance. Then it cannot be anticipated that ignorance can be destroyed by actions. Again, actions do not give this effect of destroying ignorance. Again and again, some result is desired from action. Attachment arises from desire, and some fault will make the attainment fall short of perfection. That is, if you're doing actions born of ignorance, you can't hope that those actions are going to destroy the ignorance. Always there's some desire and some motivation for performing the action. So there from the desire comes the attachment, and then we've got something less than a perfect action. Therefore, humanity should put forth every effort to attain wisdom. Since action is mandated for existence, therefore all are bound to act. The ultimate liberation rises only from wisdom. Therefore, action with wisdom is a helper in the path of liberation. Hitakari. It is the well-wisher, the benefiter. The benefit, it creates a benefit, it creates a joyous effect. If you act with wisdom, you can free yourself from ignorance. And if you act with ignorance, you act with desire, and therefore there's attachment, and therefore there's something short of perfection. Thus some say that wisdom and action cannot be in opposition. Wisdom cuts the knots of the heart, while action makes this possible. Well, here our heart is bound with all these desires, with all these knots of desire, attachment, which motivates our ignorant action. And wisdom cuts the knots of the heart, and action makes this possible, allows that manifestation of wisdom to illuminate, be illuminated. It is not possible for opposites to be effective simultaneously. It is not possible for darkness and light to exist simultaneously. We're back in the Aya philosophy. We're talking about logic. Therefore, wisdom and action cannot be in opposition. If they were in opposition, you couldn't have action with wisdom. They're not in opposition. They are not opposed to each other. You can act with wisdom. Therefore, all action should be performed with wisdom to the best of one's ability until chitta shuddhi, the purification of consciousness, is attained. Purify your mind, purify your consciousness, purify your motives. And once this purification has been attained, wisdom will be the natural means of operating. It'll be the natural way in which we act in this world. Shama, inner peace. Dhamma, compassion. Titiksha, to be beyond duality. Vairagyam, indifference or freedom from attachment. Shattva Shambhava, the establishment of truth within. Until these are entirely attained, there is nothing greater than action. You gotta act. So act until you find a center of inner peace. from which compassion comes, and you dwell beyond duality, and you have vairagyam, you have freedom from attachment to all the actions you perform, and you become established in the truth, or established truth within. There is nothing greater than action until these are not attained. But if they be the goal of action, then we cannot be acting from ignorant attachments. Only after this attainment may one be a sannyasi, a renunciate. This is called sannyas. This is the definition of sannyas, who has shama, dhamma, titiksha, vairagyam, and sattva sambhava, who has inner peace and compassion beyond duality, freedom from attachment, and has established truth within. This is the establishment, nyas, of sannyas, of truth. To be established in truth, or to have truth established in it, that is renunciation. Such a one should take refuge with a guru in communion with his own soul, who knows the three Vedas. The Srotriya are the three that are heard, and remembers there is Sruti and there's Smriti. The Vedas are Sruti, they are heard, they are cognized from God. And the Smriti are the Puranas and the Itihasas and the rest of the literature which was remembered and recollected from those who heard and wrote it down. The Guru, who is in communion with his own soul, who knows the three Vedas, who is efficient in the practices of union with the Supreme, who is devoted, who is free from all deception. Those are the criteria for our Guru. And there he should listen to the wisdom of Vedanta, the highest, the ultimate wisdom. And always contemplate these meanings as well as the statements of the various principles, the tattvas, tattva gyan. In fact, we have a book on tattvas that enumerates the principles. The statements of the various principles give the knowledge that the individual soul is one with the Supreme Divinity. There's a union there. When this identity is realized, one becomes free from fear and attains my form. This is Rupam Dehi, Jayam Dehi, Yasho Dehi, Vichojaki. This is the realization of the identity that the individual soul is one with the Supreme. First, one should understand the meaning of each syllable of the statement, then the meaning of the entire sentence. The word Tat, O mountain, is famous as I, literally defined as that, the totality of existence. Tat, that means the soul, the supreme divinity within, the totality of existence. The meaning of the word Twam is only Jiva, literally defined as you, the individual soul. Of this there is no doubt. That Tat and Twam are one is known by the word Asi. So Tat Twam Asi, that thou art, I, and you are one. I am one with God. The apparent opposition of the words Tat and Twam, Tat implying omniscience, omnipresence, and other universal qualities, while Twam suggests non-omniscience and other characteristics of a limited nature, is prohibited by Osi. They are one. They are one. Only one is contained within the other. So the Twam is contained within the Tat.
By definition, they are united in the principle as has been established in the scriptures. Remember, there are 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. From each has come forth one Mahavakya. This is in our book on Tattva-gyana. From the Yajur Veda, Tattvamasi. From the Sama Veda, I am Atma Brahma. From the Rig Veda, Pragyanam Brahma. Pragyanam Brahma, Tattvamasi. I am Atma Brahma. Aham Brahmashi. 4 Mahavakyas from the 4 Vedas. This Tattvamasi means I am one with God. Or that divine essence is what you are. Pure consciousness is the goal of this union. From this union does this oneness arise. So here, pure consciousness is the goal of the union. And when you're in that pure consciousness, when you're in that union, then there is oneness. Towards this oneness proceeds all wisdom, wherein the two do not admit of division. They're one. So if we're acting with wisdom, we're moving towards this union. Devi Gita, literally a gift from God. It's the man's name, indicative of the average reasonable man. Is only the name of a man. In this way, remember the figurative definition, the lakshana of a word. When a man abandons his gross body, he attains supreme divinity. So now we have the figurative definition of the word, demonstrative, and the figurative and the literal definition of the word. He is actually the representative of supreme divinity. By the process known as Panchakrita, we described that in chapter 4, where the 5 elements divide themselves and combine inseparably with each of the other elements. The great elements of existence come into being. From the various combinations of these elements comes the gross body. This is the repository of all experience, of old age, affliction, and all action. If you got a body, it's going to experience various phenomena. These elements have no true existence because they are always changing. Like bursting flashes of light, manifestations of Maya. O Lord of mountains, all of these gross attributes are conceptions of my mind. See, I am the mind of all. Sometimes I'm out of my mind. Sometimes I lose my mind. But I am the mind of all. And I think, and therefore all of these elements come into being. When the organs of knowledge and the organs of action are united with the 5 vital breaths, the mind and intellect alone form the shukshma, the subtle body known by inspired poets. So here now we've got these 5 organs of knowledge, the senses, and the 5 organs of action, the upper appendages, lower appendages, tongue, reproductive organ, and anus. And when these all unite with the 5 breaths, prana, apana, jnana, udana, samana, the 5 different kinds of breath, then we have a subtle body. From the great elements of existence, which did not come into manifested being through the Panchakrita process, the subtle body of this great soul manifests. So some of the elements form the gross body, tangible, empirically verifiable, and some of the elements form the subtle body. This is the second attribute wherein exists the knowledge of pleasure and pain. It's all in your mind. It's all thought. So remember, in the gross body, he was called Virat. In the subtle body, he was called Sutratma. And in the causal body it was called Ishvara. This ignorance is without beginning, indescribable, and is the third attribute. The illumination of this body, mind, and soul is performed by the causal soul, the Karanatma, the cause of all the souls, otherwise called the causal body, O Lord of mountains. So the illumination of this body, mind, and soul is occurring because of the infinite consciousness, because of the causal body. And he is called the causal body as a causal soul. When all these attributes cease from production or attachment, only the soul remains. The three bodies and the five sheaths, the five consistencies of perception. The Annamaya Kosh is of the consistency of matter. It's tangible, empirically verifiable. Pranamaya, the consistency of breath. A little more subtle, but you can still feel it. You can't see it though. The Manomaya Kosh, of the consistency of thought. The Vijnanamaya Kosh, take all the thoughts and merge them into light. The light of wisdom. And the Anandamaya Kosh, of the consistency of Satchit Ananda. So Satchit Ananda is most subtle of all. A little more gross. Take all of that Satchit Ananda and put it into a light. And the light is the light of wisdom, and you can perceive that light of wisdom brightly shining. A little more gross. And from the light of wisdom, take all that light and illuminate all your thoughts. And now we're in the Manomaya Kosh. And take all those illuminated thoughts and put them into your breath and breathe that light of wisdom with all the goodness, all the joy of all those thoughts into the empirically perceivable Annamaya Kosh. Into creation. And this is the intercourse between the inner world and the outer. You bring the inner world, the outer world inside, from the Annamaya Kosh to the Pranamaya Kosh to the Manomaya Kosh to the Vijnanamaya Kosh to the Anandamaya Kosh. And then you take the inner world out from the inside and you bring it outside and make a whole new creation. From the Anandamaya Kosh, you take all that bliss of true consciousness, Satchit Ananda, and you put it into the light of wisdom. And you take that light and put it, illuminate your thoughts and fill them full of love and light and wisdom and peace. And take all those thoughts and put them into your breath and breathe that light into creation. And that is a cycle of creation. Every breath is a cycle of creation. The consistency of matter, the consistency of air, consistency meaning the fight of fabric, the woof and the warp and woof of the fabric as it has this consistency. This is Annamaya, of the consistency of matter, you can touch it. Of the consistency of air, it's more subtle. Of the consistency of thought, more subtle still. Of the consistency of one-pointed light or wisdom, and of the consistency of the bliss of infinite consciousness, form the inner resonance always. When one abandons or moves beyond the five sheets, these five coverings, these five levels of consistency, then Brahmpuch, the ultimate end of divinity, is attained. This is my form, and has been described in various ways as neti, not this, not that, meaning not limited to any form, the form of the infinite. It is not born, nor does it die. We've read this in the Bhagavad Gita. Never at any time did it not exist, nor can anything exist without it. It is unborn, eternal, everlasting, ancient, and it is not slain with the body. If one thinks it is slain or thinks it is the slayer, both of them do not know. For it does not kill, nor can it be killed. It is subtler than the subtlest, and greater than the greatest, as a baby within the womb. Seeing the activities born of darkness and remaining free from all sorrow, these are the blessings of its greatness. So when it gives a blessing, it allows us to see the activities born of darkness, of ignorance, of attachment, and still remain free from sorrow. Without attachment, we give up our selfish attachments and become the witness. We know that actions born of ignorance will not lead to liberation. And we watch. And that is the blessing of its greatness. The soul is known as the master of the chariot, and the body is the chariot. The intellect is known as the driver, and the mind is the reins. I am the car and you are the driver. Just as you drive, just so I run. Everything is your desire. The organs of knowledge and action are the horses, and all perceivable objects become concerns for attention. Everywhere we focus our perception, there we can have a concern or a contemplation. When the soul is united with the organs of knowledge and action and the mind, then it becomes the enjoyer of all experience. I think, therefore I am. Whoever is ignorant, unmindful, and always impure has no capacity to attain this wisdom. Such people remain in bondage to objects and relationships of the world. Who acts with knowledge, who is mindful and always pure, such people attain the goal and become even greater. The human who keeps knowledge as his charioteer and keeps a tight rein on his mind becomes capable of the highest attainment. He is mine and resides in the highest abode. Gets to stay in the Devi Mandir. Lucky you. Thus, one should listen, contemplate, and deeply meditate. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhasanam. One should listen, contemplate, and deeply meditate on the soul of all souls. With an attitude of intensity, one should deeply meditate upon the form of my soul. Before entering into the fullest and most complete union, one should deeply intuit Bhavaye, the three letters encompassing all wisdom incorporated in the pranava, the highest symbolic utterance of the goddess, Hrim. The Hrim is the Devi pranava. For the purpose of this meditation, the mantra is being explained. The letter Ha, H, means the gross body, while the letter Ra, R, means the subtle body. The letter E, or the I, means the causal body, and the Anushwar indicates the Turiya state, that which is beyond. Hrim is the bija of Maya, the Devi Pranava. What can be perceived through the senses, what can be conceived in the mind, what can be known through intuition, and beyond is Maya. That's the definition of Maya, Hrim. And knowing these three letters to be the order of the universal body of existence, the aspirant will deeply intuit Bhavaye, The unity between the universal body of existence and the individual body of a particular existence, namely the meditator. This particular body is one with the universal body. And I know the order. I move from the gross to the subtle to the causal and beyond. And then we move into union. Prior to the time of samadhi, pure intuitive absorption, having deeply intuited as previously described, the gross body, the subtle body, the causal body, and beyond, one should fix oneself in meditation on heavenly light, on the goddess, on me, on the supreme divinity of all existence. Make the inflowing breath equal to the outflowing breath, and destroy all movement within. Offer attention only to that which is changeless, without modifications. Be free from all defects, such as jealousy, etc. The devotee, attaining to freedom from all afflictions, unites within the cave of his breast. The letter Ha, which is the substratum of the universe, will be dissolved into the letter Ra. So take all of our gross perception and bring it inside and dissolve it into the subtle body. The letter Ra, which is the light of the gods, should be dissolved into the letter E. Take all the thoughts and put them into that light of wisdom. The letter E, which is the soul of the individual intelligence, should be dissolved into Ring, Maya. There, in this space, exists nothing about which is spoken, nor any speech by which to speak. Any attitude of duality is forbidden. It is indivisible, Satchit Ananda, true existence, consciousness, and bliss, sitting within the highest part of the head. This is the meditation on me, O King, which is the most excellent of humanity we can actually perform. Which the most excellent of humanity can actually perform. That's us! Wow! That's us! The most excellent of humanity, we can actually do this. My form and your own self, both are one in continuous association. United in yoga, my universal soul, higher than the highest, is perceived. All ignorance and its effects are immediately destroyed. Oh. Namaste. Do we have any questions, please?
Swamiji?
Yes.
I have a question relating to both this chapter and the last chapter, Swamiji.
Certainly.
You talk about the gut akash and the maha akash, the container, and the space outside the container, the space within and outside.
Yes.
And the analogy is made to our body. Now, the Maya arises because of the existence of this gut akash, of the conception of the form. So does it mean that when we leave our body, the Maya will go away, so that a soul who departs from its body is not afflicted by Maya? That's one question, Swamiji.
No, that is not what it means. There is nowhere we can go where there is not Maya. The soul exists in Maya. It is inseparably connected with Maya. Were it not for Maya, it would not be an individual soul. It would only be the supreme soul. But that it takes birth again and again suggests to us that it has samskaras. It has tendencies. It has a propensity to take birth again in another form of manifested existence. That creates an individuality. So, no, it is not free from Maya. It is free from the lower Maya of illusion and attachment. It is free from the middle Maya of Tantra, the Maya of the many in relationship to the one, and the one in relationship to many. But it is not free from the Maya of a Vedanta, where there is only one true existence, and that Shiva, Shakti are actually one in the mind. And the second part of your question?
Actually, verse 24, Swamiji, it's a related point. It says in the last part, when a man abandons his gross body, he attains supreme divinity. It seems to suggest that when he leaves his body, he's free from Maya.
No. Maya is supreme divinity. That's my mom you're talking about. Even though he has no body, he attains supreme divinity. Shiva and Shakti are that supreme divinity. And Shakti is Maya in the causal body. So therefore, we're not free from Maya. We are one with Maya. We're free from illusion, the lower definition of Maya. But we are one with Maya. Because were it not for Shiva and Shakti being one in harmony together, merely called by different names, how can we explain this existence? From whence comes forth this creation? Shiva and Shakti are the efficient and material causes of creation. Both the material and instrumental causes must be present in order to have a creation. So therefore, we're not free from Maya. We're one with Maya. And you can call that Maya, it's all Shiva. Or you could say that Maya is all Shakti. Or you could say that Maya is Shiva Shakti. Or in this text they're saying it's Maya. Ka'elarim, hasakahalarim, sakalarim. There are three forms of Maya. And here we have in the supreme divinity is Maya. And it could be Kaha, Eilarim, where Shiva and Shakti are one. Do we have other questions?
Swamiji, you said that the soul is free from the lower forms of Maya, but aren't us themselves attachments, and the soul has it, so how is it free?
Well, it's free from acting and interacting from illusion during the period of its non-manifestation. When it comes back into manifestation again, it's going to select an environment most conducive to fulfilling the aspirations of the tendencies that it has collected from time immemorial, and then manifest in that family. So, yes, in that sense, only for a short period of time of non-manifestation, or the duration of that period of time, the soul is free from manifestation. So therein lies the freedom from the Maya of illusion.
Swami, there's a question on verse 2.
Yes.
That Nilima from New Delhi has.
Namaste, Nilima. So happy to have you with us.
And she's asking, do actions please her? None of all that is mentioned in verse 2, study of Vedas, austerities, will make her perceivable, but only her grace can make her perceivable. How does one bring her grace, listening to the Vedas and contemplating on them, and surrendering to Guru who knows the Vedas? Is that an extension of verse 2?
Yes, it is, Nilima. You're absolutely right. You see, the actions of study or practice of yoga or dhan or tapasya, various forms of sadhana, are not sufficient to allow her to attain her darshan, but only from her kripa. Now, kri means karo, and pa means power. So, jaise karenge, aise payenge. And just as you perform, so shall you receive. And that's the grace. So if you do all of these types of actions, purifying austerities, if you perform these purifying austerities, you earn her grace. And then when you least expect it, she gives her darshan and presents herself before you. That's the way it happens. Not by inaction, but by pure action.
Marsha from Los Angeles is asking,
Namaste, Marsha.
is discernment the tool of wisdom?
Discernment is one portion of discrimination. And I would translate them differently. Discrimination will be vivek. And discernment will be electing the best choice. The best possible choice is discerning. And the discrimination is saying, this is the path that we take, or this is the in keeping with my sankalpa, with my definition of my goal and my lifestyle. And this is not. So discrimination allows us to proceed along the path of sankalpa, where when we discern, we are choosing the better alternative. It doesn't allow us to exclude.
A question from Dilip from Florida.
Namaste, Dilip.
How can one know Pudra state by intuition? Intuition seems to exist in Pudra also. Can you please explain?
We enter into a state of meditation, Dilip. And that state of meditation goes beyond intuitive knowledge, because it's a priori knowledge, as Kant was to describe it. It goes beyond the critique of pure reason. We no longer have any reason. So we have direct intuitive experience. It's a prakash. In the gross body we have prataksh. It's a union of the gyanendriya, our senses, with the object of sense. That is, we see outside. In the subtle body we have a pratyaya. The pratyaya is we see our concepts. We watch the movies on the stage of the mind. In the causal body we have prakash. It's just an illumination. Someone turn on the light. Namaste, Nandama.
Verse 16 talks about freedom from attachment. Many of us are attached to our families or loved ones. Is attachment really a bad thing? Swamiji, and can you please clarify why freedom from attachment is so essential for a sannyasi? Thank you.
Oh, Nanda, would you please talk to Marsha? She understands discrimination. And that the discrimination is going to tell us which attachments are going to free me, and which attachments are going to get me into more trouble than I'm already in. And that's what I'm trying to discriminate. This path of attachment is very subtle. I want to be attached to my guru. I want to be attached to my sadhana. I want to be attached to pasya. I want to be attached to wisdom. I want to be attached to my family and my friends. But now, how do I discriminate as to which time, place, and circumstance, and the intensity of my involvement with which circumstances? There's a time and a place for each. I don't want to neglect my family, but I don't want to neglect my spirituality because I have a family. That wouldn't be proper discrimination. Nandama, please talk to Marsha. She understands.
Question from Kumari from Valley.
Namaste, Kumari Ma.
Can a devotee attain true knowledge purely through prayer, worship, and devotion?
No. That's not sufficient. After we have prayer and devotion, we have to act in accordance with our knowledge. We achieve some state of understanding. Remember, the Ishopanishad said, by action alone we cannot achieve realization, and by meditation alone we cannot achieve meditation. But by meditation we achieve freedom from death. And by action, in accordance with that knowledge, we achieve immortality. Please don't think it is one or the other. It is both. And that's just been discussed here. Wisdom and action are not in opposition. They are united and one and the same.
In verse 10, it says that action cannot destroy ignorance.
Yes, that is true. But then in verse 12, it says action is the helper in the path. Action with wisdom helps us to achieve liberation.
So what would be an action with ignorance and action with wisdom?
If I do for me, that's pretty stupid. If I do for thee, I'm to be commended. That is action with wisdom.
So the motivation behind the action determines whether it is born of ignorance or born of wisdom?
Probably that's the most important element. However, there are other elements of consideration. How do I perform the action? Do I perform with efficiency? Do I perform with attention? Do I perform properly? Is it appropriate? These all will be criteria by which we discriminate. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.